one of the things that they do teach you is within the healthcare industry, it's not that we're so much intentionally gatekeeping, it's that we're so scared that information will reach somebody from our mouths to their ears, and they will take that information and get hurt. There's so much fear tied up in providing healthcare because we don't want to get sued. So one of the things that I had to tackle in myself when I started making this content was there has to be a giant disclaimer. Anytime you provide medical advice that isn't medical advice on the internet, which is rampant, and much of it is in fact not great, trying to maintain the highest level of integrity as a licensed healthcare provider while also taking down all of the protective barriers, because those barriers are not just there to keep people out. They also protect the healthcare providers from what can come at them if something bad happens, right? Like we live in a very litigious society, literally and monetarily. We cannot afford to have something bad happen and have that blood on our hands. We are taught that from day one. So it is not as simple as just saying, get out there, get online, talk about your stuff. It is a cautious approach that I've had to continually. One of the things I struggle with is I get reached out to by brands daily. Hundreds of brands and it's great. It's a great problem to have. But as a licensed healthcare provider first, and somebody who believes in the authentic sharing of true, factual, valid reviews and information, I cannot simply say, sure, I'll take $1,000 to share your product, even though I don't think it's a good product and it could result in somebody getting hurt. I can't do that. And so I turn down more projects than I can even begin to imagine because of that problem. It is a very real balancing act for healthcare providers to provide medical, non-medical advice on the internet. And we've seen it go very right with providers who are doing it very cautiously and carefully and honestly with high integrity. And we've seen it go very, very wrong. If you're a physical therapist out there and you're like, I'm just going to put my exercises out on the internet. Great. But every person is not built the same. If I give generalized information like how to do these very specific transfers with my able body, guess who's not doing those transfers? Able-bodied individuals. And so there's so much more nuance to and this is what I've had to, when I brought my husband in, which was really fascinating to me. He's not tied to healthcare at all. So he acts as the non-healthcare set of eyes and ears. And what he has reminded me, and this is the secret, I think, is show, don't tell. People don't recognize me. This is what always cracks me up. I go to big conferences and stuff, and I'm a fairly ubiquitous character in their subconscious. They don't see me. They don't recognize me. I don't get found. And you know why? Because they're not watching me. They're watching what I'm doing. It's show, don't tell. I don't talk too much. I want to show you something and let you superimpose what that means to you onto the content. Super important, because I don't want you looking at me and saying, she's giving me funky advice. I'm not giving you anything. I'm showing you something that you can use to take to your in-person therapist to start a conversation. And that's where I think it's a balance between, I'm not replacing a healthcare provider. Yeah. I'm acting as a bridge between an individual sitting in their living room who's struggling with something and the therapist that they're working with. And they bring my video and they say, hey, would this be something I could do? And now we're having that combined value of introducing an idea that they can kind of see themselves using and then bringing it to their healthcare provider. I can't replace a healthcare provider, but I can give people that conversation starter. So it's a precarious position to find yourself in as a healthcare.
If you'd like to learn more about Strata PT and see how our EMR and RCM works, head over to stratapt.com to book a demo.